pace. Alright everyone, let's check out Strangers. Let's go. So Strangers was actually kind of just like the saddest song that came out of Harmony House. I was definitely going through just like a lot of emotional changes in my life, and this song was like a final turning point, I think, for me, just releasing those emotions that I was going through. This was actually one of the last songs that I wrote for Harmony House, and it kind of felt like this closing to a chapter of this big moment of like, I don't know, release of emotion and an understanding of like saying what I was trying to say. I remember writing down the lyric, I know so many strangers, and thinking like that really described what I was going through, because I was around a lot of people and playing a lot of shows, but I felt kind of lonely, and I realized that it was just a strange thing where like I knew so many people that would like come to shows and stuff, and like I would recognize them, but I didn't know them, which sounds really meta, but that's just an interesting thing about like being an artist but also having a personal life, and then that artistry being reflected by your personal life. I don't know, it's just like, yeah, really strange. It was overwhelming to me at first, and Strangers kind of came out of that emotion. Sonically, I was listening to a lot of Jeff Lynne, Electric Light Orchestra, a lot of like Phoebe Bridgers, so pretty naturally I just wrote a sad song. But yeah, it all started out, I was playing on my Wurlitzer this keys line. And it's kind of got just like a classic 60s, 70s Beatles, Electric Light Orchestra, those always crossover kind of sound. And it's a piano, plug-in, layered with a Wurlitzer, layered with a Mellotron, a flute and glockenspiel crossover. You know, it gives it that, I don't know, Beatlesy feel, Mellotron. But yeah, that just goes throughout the whole song, just played live. I wanted it to feel really raw. I've got underneath the keys a lot of little lines and stuff, like on a Mellotron. Like here I've got this going on underneath. I just wanted it to feel very orchestral, and there's all these different parts going on, and kind of like 3 or 4 songs at once. Just showing like the overstimulation I was going through at the time, but also still being a very intimate and clear, direct song. I've got this Mellotron cello going on in the background, which is like straight up like, you know, Strawberry Fields. Yeah. And throughout the song, because I wanted it to feel very orchestral, Electric Light Orchestra-ish, you had to have like a string section. I don't have any friends really connected to an orchestra that I could afford to fit in this room, so I resorted to using MIDI strings, which Logic has, you know, amazing strings and stuff. So I layered it with this like what's the technical term for that? Tremolo. This tremolo string, just adding this tension. Layered it with the Mellotron mandolin, which is kind of the same thing. And then a vibrato, like a full step, I think. So all 3 layered together, just kind of like for transitions. just in and out. I also wanted this song to feel really like tapey, like you could hear a lot of the tape noise and stuff. So throughout the song, hopefully you can hear a lot of little white noise compression things going on. Here I've got like the chords following the piano. That's the cello right now, but it's going to fade in these strings. The second chorus, the strings come in a little bit stronger. Getting ready for that like breakdown. Got like another mellotron under here. Yeah, there's like the nicknames melody hidden in this one, I think. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, just random stuff under there. So during this breakdown at the end of the song, where there's this really climactic moment where it seems like this crash of emotion and noise and sound comes, and that's exactly what I was going for. Is it just felt like this overstimulation of like my career just like just starting, and yeah, I just wanted that to be sonically shown in the song, and so it kind of has this like big like crash moment, but you know, one of my biggest moments, and a lot of y'all probably know me from, is from my song Can I Call You Tonight. And as grateful as I am for that song, it's just like this weird emotional thing for me where I know this like one song has done so much. And so Strangers essentially is about Can I Call You Tonight and all the fame that I've gotten from it, and dealing with like viral success, I guess. Yeah, Strangers is ultimately like a viral success song, and you know, adding some healthy commentary on it. But anyways, in this crash moment, in the background, the melody is actually Can I Call You Tonight being played on some like church bells and a timpani and all this stuff. So I'll just get the keys going so you can be sure to hear it. You know, it's just like the lead line of Can I Call You Tonight. There's like a mellotron choir doing it too. Yeah, anyways, that's kind of just one of those hidden little things that maybe some of you would find out on your own, but just in context, I really think it helps show personally what I was going through when I was making this song, and just like the relief it gave me to just like, you know, pour it all out of me. Because, yeah, I was just really overwhelmed for a little bit. I mean, I'm so grateful and feeling really good now, but, you know, in a really weird way, I'm really thankful for this year that I've had all this time to reflect on everything going on. And yeah, I don't know, this song kind of just came out of that overwhelming time where I had this viral fame moment for the song that so many people love. I don't know. Like I don't really like feel pressure. People ask me, this is just a therapy session. People ask me all the time, like, if I feel pressure for creating a second album. You know, your sophomore album's kind of like this pressure moment. And I really didn't, maybe because things have happened so fast to me and I don't maybe even realize how big things are getting. I don't really feel the pressure because I'm just in my room and I still make everything on my own. I mixed Harmony House on my own, and I don't know, I didn't really feel like this obvious pressure. I haven't had anything be like physical. Like I haven't been in rooms with everyone playing shows and seeing people show up, and it's all still feeling so imaginary, which is really cool because it allowed me to just create without that pressure the second album that I'm really proud of. So I'm not like responding to pressure and feeling like, oh, like, you know, feel sorry for me because I'm having success. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say at all. I'm just trying to like get across this crazy overstimulating moment that I had where this song just like kind of took over my life for a little bit and I didn't even think about it. And then I stepped outside of it, writing a song, trying to look at what I was going through, and Strangers came out of that observation and kind of closed this chapter of my life and the Harmony House thing I was working on. And I don't know, it's just a really special song to me. It's a pretty sensitive song, but it's not something I like feel like I can't play live or something, or like I just can't, you know. I don't want to be too like emotional about it, but it's a really special song to me. But yeah, underneath we've got like this church bells going, this crazy synth glitter arp timpani. There's just all these things of noise. This melody going on, cello, sub bass of sorts. Some random vibes. Of course, the drums we'll look at in just a second. A distorted bass. Another kick to add a little bit of punch that things are side chaining under. Chimes. It's just everything all at once. It's like Alice in Wonderland, like falling down this little tunnel. I've got this crowd sound effect just to show, like, I don't know, the feeling of being like anxious around a bunch of people and getting all this fame and attention. And that's just going through like a tape delay, changing echo time. Yeah, so I've got this choir, which is like from Alchemy Logic's sampler. It's called Spectral Choir Phrases. It's really cool. But this is the same melody that plays in Into Blue. It's like the other sad song. The same progression and everything, just in a different key. So just all this stuff is just going on at once. Tambourine, drums, strings. But yeah, we've got the keys, the strings. The bass is just like, I wanted it to feel really organic, and like I wanted it to have that like Hofner, Paul McCartney bass kind of sound. It's like a really hollow sort of thing, so it's all just played pretty loose. Just feels very DI. Just open notes. Yeah, and then on the breakdown, I, you know, distort it. Quite a bit. Crunched. Captain Crunched. Okay, let's check out the drums. So Drums are fake. This one kind of broke my heart. I was so close to re-recording everything on real drums, but I'd worked so hard on trying to get them to sound real that I was like, I'll just leave them. I'm so close to regretting. I'm not going to allow myself to get to the point where I regret it. So I don't regret not recording real drums, but I'm very close to regretting it because this is just a song that needs real drums, but I did quite a bit to make it feel real. So I just really like doing little intricate things on making it all sound real. So I can walk you through that for those of you who try to make your MIDI drums sound real, whatever that means. Not the biggest fan of the snare sound, but so we've got the kick like running through this like preamp, pretty heavy, a lot of saturation and stuff is going on in the drums. That plugin always crashes when I open it, but it's like an EQ plugin from Waves. The snare is going through this preamp, Abbey Road's chambers. And I don't use reverb often on like drums or something to give it like a reverby sound, but I'll use it just a little bit and take the dry just a little bit down, because in my mind it simulates a microphone being distant from something, and so I'll use like room reverbs just to make something sound more real, rather than adding actually like a reverb texture. And then I'm running the snare through some tape saturation, taking off the high end a little bit. The hats are pretty compressed too. So yeah, the drums, and let's go to the drum bus. So we've got Abbey Roads. This is just adding like, some room reverb, making it sound like it was recorded in a room. Going through this Abbey Roads. It's only appropriate if you're trying to make Abbey Roads or a Beatles song that you use every Abbey Roads plugin that you can. Throwing it through like a drum bus. Started with the preset and tweaked it a little bit. It's just EQing it and compressing it a little bit. I'm running it through tape, and I added just a little bit of a slapback delay. You could hear it a little bit on the kicks and the snares. It kind of adds like a groove to it, but mostly I wanted it to sound just like a mistake. So that way, there's no way it would be MIDI because there's a mistake, but it was on purpose. Just little dumb things like that. I have Echo Boy that later comes into the picture on the breakdown, kind of thing. Then run through a preamp, just to add a little bit of saturation again, and then add a little bit more saturation and compression. Did I overdo it? The answer is yes. But those are the drums. We've got this tambourine that comes in after the second chorus and the breakdown. And then the vocals, I wanted to feel really raw and up front.
I've been on my own these days, trying to figure out the pace.
Just running through tape, delay, chamber, a little bit of slapback, but I didn't do left and right pan because I just wanted to feel so direct. Or actually, just in the first verse I didn't add that. A reverb only track. Left and right.
And what am I to believe when things keep getting stranger? Oh, I know so many strangers. And I tried to organize my fears, but they didn't change at all.
A harmony comes in.
And I made a few friends last week and thought I fell in love again. In Los Angeles,
I'm running the harmony through an ADT plugin, which is like an artificial doubling trick that people recording in like the 60s and 70s would use on their vocals to add this like phaser effect, like a lot of Beatles songs. I keep quoting the Beatles, but you know, how can you not? Just making it feel kind of strange and psychedelic on the harmonies.
So what do I do when everything is new, but all I want is to feel my age?
The reverb gets a little bit more up and like big.
And what am I to say when you feel like a stranger? Oh, I know so many strangers.
So in this vocal I saturated it a little bit more, and then the way I get that trippy sound is first I went into Little Alter Boy, which is this plugin that does like pitch effects. I use it on vocals. I guess it's monophonic voice manipulation. I've used it on other things before, but I guess mostly vocals. There's something called formant. Don't totally understand the science behind it, but whenever you change pitch, that's like changing the note, and formant is like changing the, I guess, shape of the wave, so it's the same pitch, but it sounds lower. So like, I don't really know how to describe it. It sounds like it's me talking, hitting the same note, but in a different voice. It's like, oh, I have no idea how to describe it. But anyways, I shifted the formant around, and then also did like an echo boy, up and down, feedback getting worse and worse kind of deal. And then this other plugin called Pan Man, which will go left to right in your headphones. So I just wanted this full-on like voices in your head kind of moment. Freak out.
When you feel like a stranger. Oh, no, so many strangers.
So everything together. I wanted to add that very like storybook feeling chord change at the end with the mellotrons holding out this chord and then seamlessly going into Like Ivy, which is the last song in the album, which I feel like just completely closes up everything I was trying to say on the album, which I'll be breaking that song down. But I see Strangers and Like Ivy essentially being the same song. For a while, I thought they were going to be the same song, then I was like, oh, I'll separate them. But yeah, they kind of flow into each other. So like Strangers is like the crying moment, and then you know when you cry, it kind of feels good after. You know, it's like it kind of feels good that you were crying. Like Ivy's kind of supposed to feel like that, like you're feeling that relief and hope, and the sun is kind of in your face, and I don't know, that was pretty deep, but that's essentially what I was going for, is that like Strangers is getting all of like the stuff out, and then Like Ivy is this sense of relief and understanding and clarity, because Strangers, that's the complete opposite. I wanted it to be overstimulating because that's what I was going through. But anyways, this is Strangers, how I made it. Hope you learned something about the song, and yeah, I don't know, but anyways, thanks for watching, and bye.